எல்லாருக்கும் நமஸ்காரம். On behalf of WBWA b4biz, I extend a warm welcome to all of you. உங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் நல்வரவு. We will start the program. எல்லாரும் துளசி வந்தனம் பண்ணியிருப்பேன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். Now I request our President Shivanarayan sir to come on to the dais. I also request our guest of honor, with all your applause, please welcome Dr. A. Padmanabhan, P.A. Padmanabhan. Dr. Sundaram Seshadri, Dr. Seshadri, please come on to the stage. Shivakumar, please come on to the stage. Jora Kaitatlam, these are our WBWA pillars. இல்லை ஒருத்தர் கீழே உட்காந்துட்டு இருக்கார், அவருக்கும் ஜோரா கைத்தட்டுங்க. ஹரிபாஸ்கர், he will show his presence later. Yeah. Now I request Dr. Sundaram Seshadri to welcome the gathering.
Respected President of World Brahmin Welfare Association, respected Chief Guest of the day, respected members sitting here, and respected Executive Committee members and other volunteers and members of World Brahmin Welfare Association. I take this opportunity to welcome you all to this wonderful program. We all know very well World Brahmin Welfare Association is more than 10 years old, and it has been integrating many people, Brahmins from different walks of life. It is not only for today we are having this b4biz program, but World Brahmin Welfare Association brings all Brahmins from different verticals under one umbrella. The expectation is all Brahmins should come together, be it a business person, be it a chartered accountant or a gurukul or even Prohit or Vaidikal, whoever we call it as, we expect all people to be part of this larger platform so that they get benefited out of this interaction and networking process. Right. The example is, if somebody from Chennai want to visit Kashi or somebody want to visit Rameshwaram or any corner of the country, if you go back some 50-60 years, I have to take little extra time to tell you about this. That's why. Thing is, if you want go back 100 years, it was the entire country was networked by Brahmins. We expect the same thing to happen tomorrow also and continue this kind of networking happening. So all our people moving from one area to another area, they should be in a position to network easily, find out a person who can be of help to them and get connected quickly. This is the expectation. So I don't want to take much time. I think our people, lot of people, our president, other people give more information about that. So when we started this process of, we means not we, myself and others, I would say, we can proudly say, Sri Shivakumar and the team, the coordinating team, when they started sending out the information to all people, inviting for this program. Initially there was a lackluster response, and finally it swelled to the number of 200 people registering for this program. And very interestingly, within this time morning, it is a very busy day, I would say, because in the Chennai Trade Center there is a big program happening on Food Pro. I could see many people sitting there also from this. So in spite of, and there are many other some more programs also happening in different hotels also, but in spite of all these things, our people took time to spend the whole day here with us. We could see now 120 people sitting here, and many people are on the way. Soon in another half an hour time, the entire hall will be full, we expect. So we welcome you wholeheartedly to this program. We seek the same kind of support for all the programs we do and the kind of networking programs. We hope you will be here the whole day, enjoy the proceedings, and also get benefit and also give benefit to all the people participating in this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Seshadri sir. Crispa pesware, correcta pesware, nachina pesware. Put your hands together for Seshadri sir. Now I request our Honorable President, Sri Shivanarayan sir, to come and address the gathering.
Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Jai Jai Shankara, Hara Hara Shankara. Today our World Brahmins Welfare Association, WBWA, b4biz, is entering into the 7th year of this operation. And already you are aware that World Brahmins Welfare Association is in its 11th year. this world respected Dr. P.A. Padmanabhan, President Finance Group CFO, my core team members, all our executive and members. I'm very happy to invite you for this b4biz convention today. And I am very much thankful to all of you for participating in this meet. b4biz is business for Brahmins, is also one of our social activity. World Brahmins Welfare Association, WBWA, started for social welfare activities. I am as a president, we consider this b4biz also as a social activities, one among our other social activities. This organization, we are working for 11 years and we are given around lot of assistance. We are giving lot of assistance, providing assistance to our needy people of our community. Our community is giving education assistance, employment assistance, job assistance, and marriage assistance, medical assistance, and all other assistance. Even in Corona period, you are all aware that we have given 2,000 to 2,500 rupees to about 1,200 archahals and vaidihals. So far, we have given assistance to 451 students for education. Even next week, we are planning to give education assistance to another 5 or 6 students. See, this b4biz is also one of our social activity. All of you are aware, we never collect any subscription. And whereas you are all helping us and sponsoring us for conducting these programs, that we never forget. So I am very much thankful to all of you, and I wish each and every one of you to please be present till the end of today's program, today's convention, and take out the maximum benefit out of it and help our community people, for the needy people, for their survival. Thank you very much. All the best. Thank you.
Thanks for your address. Now, we have amidst us Dr. P.A. Padmanabhan as our guest of honor. Just a few words about Dr. P.A. Padmanabhan. He is currently the President Finance and Group CFO of Rane Group. I think most of you know about Rane Group, which is a leading automobile component manufacturer headquartered in Chennai. And Dr. P.A. Padmanabhan has been responsible for formulation of various policies and driving synergies across multiple businesses within the group, which is a big group, and supporting strategic initiatives of the group. Apart from that, leading quite a few mergers and acquisitions, which are very big. He has a career spanning over 3 decades, and Dr. Padmanabhan has extensive experience across different industries, handling corporate restructuring, due diligence, mergers and acquisitions, accounts and audit, direct and indirect taxation, treasury and forex management, project management, SAP implementation, and most importantly, investor relations. Dr. Padmanabhan is a graduate from our well-known Vivekananda College, Chennai, and is a fellow member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants, the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, and the Institute of Company Secretaries. இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் few institutes இருக்கு, அதுவும் இருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். He also holds a PhD in management from the Institute of Management, Nirma University. Dr. Padmanabhan has been recognized by the Committee for Members in Industry of the Institute of Chartered Accountants in the year 2015 in India itself. Dr. Padmanabhan is also a member of the CFO board, a body of senior finance professionals from across the country. ஒரு brief தான் சொல்லியிருக்கேன், right? He will talk about it, much about it himself, and his address will follow now. Before that, we would like to felicitate Dr. Padmanabhan. I request our President, P. Shivanarayan sir, and Shivakumar to felicitate Dr. Padmanabhan. Mr. Shivakumar to give a citation to Dr. Padmanabhan. சும்மா ஒரு வேர்ட்ஸ் கொஞ்சம் எழுதியிருக்கோம். In this disruptive age, Dr. Padmanabhan, your expertise is the way forward. Your professional acumen helps many lotus to blossom. Do remain our inspiration always. I request our guest of honor with all your applause to address all of you.
Good morning and Vanakkam. I would like to first start with thanking the management of WWA b4biz for inviting me today. Another guest of honor na potirukanga. Actually, it's my honor to be in this August gathering among all of you here. See, today we are in a very, very challenging environment. It gives me great pride to see all of you sitting here who are entrepreneurs and doing well in this kind of a very challenging environment. We are in currently what is called VUCA world. For those of you who are not familiar with the term VUCA, VUCA is a acronym for V for volatile, U for uncertain, C for complex, and A for ambiguity. Currently, we are in that kind of an environment. As far as volatility is concerned, we are in a fast-paced, ever-changing environment. Uncertainty. The environment is very, very uncertain. We had something called COVID which came in suddenly and then took away 2 years of our life. A very, very uncertain environment in which we are operating. Complex. There are a host of regulatory compliances which are so complex, it's very difficult for us to even understand what are the various compliances that are applicable to us. And ambiguous. There is a lot of ambiguity in terms of what I am eligible for, what I am not eligible for, what are my rights, what are my liabilities. So we are in this kind of a very, very challenging environment, which I call as a VUCA environment. All of you sitting here are all entrepreneurs operating in this very challenging environment and are coming out successful, and my salute to all of you sitting here for being in business and then wading through this very, very challenging environment. I would like to take this opportunity to take you through some of the facets of the MSME segment as we stand today. In spite of this very challenging environment, I would say that MSMEs in India are currently well positioned because from the government of India, there is a lot of thrust in promoting MSMEs. I will start by referring to a very, very recent notification. It is a very innocuous notification, but it's a very powerful notification supporting MSMEs. On 15th of July, less than a month back, MCA issued a circular basically amending what is called as a Form 1, which is to be filed by companies once in 6 months. This Form 1 has been in existence all along. This Form 1 basically captures amount outstanding to MSMEs beyond the due date that needs to be filed with the MCA. This needs to be filed twice a year, once as of September 30th before end of October and once as on March 31st before end of April. This form earlier used to have a single requirement. If any company has any dues beyond the due date as on September 30th or on March 31st, they need to give the details. This was the requirement till July 15th. What used to happen is companies sometimes during the period between April to September, they might delay, but that was not getting captured in this form. Similarly, in October to March, there may be in between delays that was not getting captured. But what was getting captured only what was outstanding and overdue as on September 30th or March 31st. This recent circular, what they have done is they have made 4 columns. First is what are the payments that have been made within the due date to MSMEs. What are the payments during the period April to September paid after the due date. And if it is a return filed as on September 30th, the third point is what are the dues which are not yet outstanding. They are not due as on September 30th. And fourth, what have actually fallen due under overdue as on September 30th. So out of these 4 columns, only the last one was required till recently. This simple change in the form introduced by MCA now requires almost all the companies which have even a single default to any MSME to report this periodically to MCA, giving not only details of the delays, giving the details of what it has done within the due date, beyond the due date, what is outstanding within the due date, what is outstanding beyond the due date, and this is to be done once in 6 months, once as of September 30th, once as of March 31st. This has sort of brought in a lot of discipline into the companies, because even if there is a single delay, then they need to file all the details for the entire year with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So this is a simple move from the government which is sort of ensuring that all companies who are employing MSMEs ensure that they make the payment in time, which will in turn definitely will help in the working capital management of the MSMEs. This is one. Second thing is, there is one section 43B in the Income Tax Act. Last year in the Finance Act 23, there was one subsection H which was added to 43B, as per which if in a year within the due date MSME dues has not been paid as of the end of the year, that amount will not be allowed as a deduction under income tax for that financial year for the company. This was another move from the Income Tax Act which has been done, which will also help companies to ensure that they are making payment on time. Otherwise, there is a financial implication to them that they will not be able to get tax deduction. These are all over and above the already existing provisions relating to, in case of delay to MSMEs, 3 times the bank rate, interest rate has to be charged and paid to the MSME for the delayed period. That was already going on. In addition to that, this has been added so that from MCA they have a mechanism to monitor whether companies are paying on time or not. Earlier that mechanism did not exist. Now it will be existing in their database itself. That was one very good thing that has happened. This is one evidence of how the thrust is given to the MSMEs of late. The other one I would like to touch upon is the recent budget which was announced by Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman on 23rd of July. If you have listened to her speech, the theme, the budget theme, there are 4 aspects of the budget theme, and the 4 items which are covered in the budget theme are employment, skilling, MSME and middle class. MSME is having such an important aspect as far as the government of India is concerned, that the budget theme itself includes MSME as one of them. That shows the importance from the government side with respect to thrust on MSME. I'll just touch upon a few proposals which have been announced in this budget before I move on to the other aspects. One proposal was the Tarun loans should be increased from 10 lakhs to 20 lakhs. You might be aware under the Prime Minister Mudra Yojana, you have a Mudra loan which is given for MSMEs, where up to 50,000 it's called Shishu, and then 50,000 to 5 lakhs it is Kishore, and then 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs it's Tarun. Now this Tarun, what is 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs? The proposal is to increase up to 20 lakhs. This was one proposal. Then the second proposal which was made was for MSMEs, the methodology that is to be followed for assessing for credit purpose should not be the traditional methodology of asset or turnover, these kind of criteria. Financial institutions should devise their own methodology for deciding whether an MSME is eligible for credit. This will be a more simplified methodology and a very practical methodology. And in a situation where, for example, you are taking into account the machinery and turnover and all, proper maintenance of books of account, all those things become important. The idea of this simplification is basically because government is aware that for very, very small units, the books of accounts may not be very properly maintained, and they may not be in a position to provide the kind of information which large corporates can provide. And so this kind of a leniency has been given. Even if the books of accounts are not been properly maintained, those are all not things which should impact the credit eligibility. So accordingly, these financial institutions have been asked to devise their own methodology, where it will be based on the conviction of the promoter, the idea, the footprint, IT footprint, the digital footprint. This kind of proposal has been mooted in this recent budget. The other point is one standard usage is there for about last 40-50 years. I've been hearing it. When it comes to banks, they will provide an umbrella when it is not raining, and then take away the umbrella when it starts raining. This is the standard thing I've been hearing for so many years. One thing they have brought in this budget as a proposal is that if there are any overdues from any MSME, and it's been a genuine one and not a fault of theirs, then banks should continue to support even in times of distress. Now, from the banking side, you might be aware there is something called special mention account, SMA 0, SMA 1, SMA 2 and all. If there is outstanding principal and interest beyond 90 days, it becomes an NPA, non-performing asset. If it is from just 1 to 30 days, it is called SMA 0, 31 to 60 is SMA 1, and 61 to 90 is SMA 2. These are all published in the portal as potential NPAs. There is a system from RBI where this is being done. Now, in this period also, if it's a genuine case and it's not a mistake of the MSME, banks have been requested to support and not take away the credit facility. This is another practical measure which the government has done. And also the number of SIDB branches have also been increased, which will also result in more penetration to the rural areas. But that is one additional thing which has been said. This is a nodal bank for MSME, so increasing the number of branches will overall help in more credit availability. These were all some of the proposals in the recent budget. I am just referring to those to give you an idea as to how from the government side there is more and more thrust on MSMEs. Now, why should the government be so focused on MSME? Today there are 6.3 6.34 crores MSMEs in the country. Out of this 6.34 crores, 6.32 crores are micro. 99.5% of this total MSME are micro. And there is a small, about 3 lakhs, 3 to 4 lakhs, that's all, is the medium, small I mean, and then the medium is very, very small, about 5,000. So if you look at the cross section of this, micro is the largest, which has less than 1 crore of investment and less than 5 crores of turnover, constitutes 99.5% of the overall MSMEs. And that is the group which needs to be nurtured. And today MSMEs contribute to 30% of the GDP of the country, as high as 30%. So MSMEs are at the backbone of India's economy. They are very, very large contributors, and the pace at which the contributions are increasing are also very rapid. And given this important role that MSMEs are playing in the nation's development, understandably, government is coming with more and more schemes in order to support MSMEs, so that while they grow, they provide employment, the country also grows in the process. So this is the background I wanted to give before I get into the subject, which is about the certain benefits and opportunities available to MSMEs. Let me now touch upon certain benefits at the central level, which is available for MSMEs. Most of you might be aware of it, but as a refresher, I am just touching upon these aspects. One is the 80 IAC exemption. 80 IAC, as you may be aware, it was introduced in 16 and 17 from 2016 onwards till 2025 March. If we are setting up, is mentioned for startups, if we are setting up a company, then there is a 100% tax exemption that is available. I am specifically referring to this particular section now because we still have time. Even we are right now in August of 24, even before March of 25. If we set up a company which falls under this 80 IAC exemption of the Income Tax Act, we will have this advantage of 100% deduction of profits for 3 consecutive years in the first 10 years of operation. We can pick up, the particular company can pick up at random any 3 consecutive financial years for which they would like to claim 100% tax exemption. This is one important provision from the center under the Income Tax Act which is there. The other thing is, I referred to earlier, is the Mudra loans. Mudra loans are as low as 50,000 and also it can go up to 20 lakhs as per the recent proposal. These are all very effective ways by which one can kickstart the business process. We also have 50% exemption from cost of patent registration for those of you on the technical side. There are some industrial promotion subsidies for timely payment by companies. As you know, there are some very stringent provisions. As a person who sits in the board of our company, I would like to inform you that in each audit committee meeting, we have an audit committee meeting followed by a board meeting. In each board meeting, the board of directors ask us to present to them if there are any at all delays to any MSME during the period. This is a very, very important requirement for the board members, and the reason I am informing this is that at the board level, at the topmost level of each company, the sensitivity has increased so much that it is one of the requirements of the board to ensure that all payments to MSMEs are being made on time and there is not even a single case of delay. and if there is even a single case of delay noticed, there are a lot of questions raised, and the action being taken to ensure this does not happen again is required to be presented by the concerned CFO in the board meeting, and without that, the board does not move to the next item in the agenda. So this is a very, very important aspect which I would like to share with all of you from my personal experience. There is free ISO certification. That is another aspect which is again from the government side. There is also some interest subventions that are available, and this sector has been categorized as a special sector by the government, where banks are expected to, it comes under priority lending, due to which there are budgets which are kept separately by the banks for lending, and also under priority lending the rate should be lower than the normal rates. So in terms of availability as well as in terms of cost, from both standpoints, there are efforts taken by the government to ensure that adequate funding is available to support MSMEs. I'll also now touch upon some of the state schemes that are available. From the state side, there is one scheme called NEEDS, NEEDS, New Entrepreneur Cum Enterprise Development Scheme. This is a very good scheme where first generation entrepreneurs who have very good ideas are given training to handle a business. They are also given a loan depending on the project size, and the age for this purpose is 21 years to 45 years. Entrepreneurs in this age category can approach the bank for this loan, and the equity requirement is only 10%. For example, if we are having a project of 50 lakhs, 5 lakhs is all the individual has to put. The remaining 45 lakhs can be funded through debt. And they also, in this scheme, support with networking to understand, to meet clients, and that kind of a hand-holding exercise also is being done. And there is also a subsidy which is there available with certain eligibility criteria. This is one program which is supported a lot of MSME in the state. And then there is also something called Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program. Here again, while the earlier program NEEDS is for educated people, graduates in the age of 21 to 45 bracket can approach banks for this purpose. Here the other program, this Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program, is for people who have passed 8th standard and would like to have some kind of a financial support. Here the financial aid for services sector is restricted to 10 lakhs, and for industry manufacturing sector it's 25 lakhs. But this is for more for people who are not educated and would like to have some kind of a funding support. In addition to that, we also have some capital subsidies based on the investments made. I am not touching much about that because in this group, from the manufacturing side, there are very few. But there are also, I would like to mention that there are some capital subsidies that are also available from the government. So these are all some kind of support given by the government of India as well as the state to ensure that people with good ideas are given adequate funding to ensure their ideas are becoming a reality, and importantly to moot that idea of entrepreneurship in the youngsters. While to be an entrepreneur there is a need for a higher level of risk-taking capability. These kind of supports can ensure that people with very good ideas need not go in the usual stream of employment but think of using their ideas be put to good use by taking advantage of these kind of various subsidies or incentives or loans that are available at very, very competitive rates, and then ensure that their ideas generate into employment for others as well. I'll now briefly touch upon what kind of businesses which are currently doing well in the MSME sector. If we take the manufacturing sector, we have areas like industrial engineering, packaging, automotive components, electronic goods, then chemicals, industrial supplies, food processing. These are all the standard ones which are doing well in the MSME segment under the manufacturing sector. For those who are in manufacturing sitting in this audience, these are some of the areas which are exclusively marked for MSMEs only. There is a category of products which can be manufactured only by MSMEs. So people who are in the manufacturing sector and would like to take up further manufacturing have these areas available only for them. Food and allied industries, which includes pickles, bread, groundnut oil, chutneys, mustard oil, these are all one area. Chemical and chemical products, which is laundry soap, wax candles, fireworks, safety matches, agarbattis. Glass and ceramics, which includes glass bangles. Mechanical products like steel almirah, rolling shutters, steel chairs, steel tables and all. Wood and wooden furniture and fixtures. These are all areas which are exclusively earmarked only for MSME. So people in this sector from here who are interested in manufacturing can take advantage of this aspect. And moving to service sector, it's interesting to see that 56% of the GDP contribution is coming from service sector, and MSME is a very major contributor for this. If you see the areas where MSMEs have sort of entered in the service sector, it's really surprising, the kind of areas which never existed a few years back. The most popular services in which MSME is today thriving and it's growing are food catering, beauty parlor, food vans, tailoring, medical clinics, cloud kitchen, small restaurants, creches, apparel stores, appliances, fitness centers, diagnostic centers, boutiques. These are all areas which have started doing very well. There are the traditional ones where it's tech services, consultancy, professional services. These are all have been traditionally the areas where services have been flourishing, but in the last 4 or 5 years, the areas which I just now spoke about, they have started gathering momentum. The reason I am saying this is, it doesn't require too much of an effort. Let's not be shy. If we have some innovative ideas, let's just venture into this. There are enough ways by which the central government and state government is willing to support us. There are a lot of groups which are consultants who are available for supporting to make us understand where all opportunities are available and where to tap for loans, and then seeing us through the process. So all that we require is a good idea and that slight push to ensure that we all become entrepreneurs. If you look at, I will now come to the community part. If you look at the Brahmin community separately, you find that be it India or abroad, the think tank is a Brahmin sitting somewhere in the background and supporting the management. It is, you would have always noticed that when an organization is doing well, there will be somebody who is sitting behind who will definitely be a Brahmin, who would have supported in the growth, but wouldn't come forward, who wouldn't come in front of the screen to show himself, because by nature we are all pretty shy. We would rather do the work and not want to take any credit and stay behind the screens. Time has come where we start coming forward and show what we are capable of. Let's not just stay behind the screens and keep doing. Let's keep doing as we are doing and excelling in whatever we are doing. At the same time, it is also important to show the world what we are capable of. I would like to conclude my speech by thanking all of you present here for your patient hearing. And I'm really honored to have been present here and address all of you. I wish you all the very best in your business endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, sir. எனக்கு ஒன்று மட்டும் ஞாபகம் இருக்கும், ஊக்கா ஞாபகம் இருக்கும். I think most of us will remember ஊக்கா. ஞாபகம் இருக்கும்ல? I think that's a very important statement that you made. And from there on, we will derive quite a few things. Thank you so much. And I think we all enjoyed your session. ஒரு டீட்டெயில்டு இதை கொடுத்துருந்தீங்க. அந்த பட்ஜெட் ப்ரெசன்டேஷனுக்கு அப்புறம் நிறைய பேர் நாங்கள் மறந்து போயிட்டோம். பட் யூ ரிஃப்ரெஷ்ட் our memory very well. Thank you so much. It was an honor to have you once again with us. I think the people will recognize your importance. Now Umar Shankar for a minute.
Happy morning, everybody. WBA wishes to thank its sponsors who have paid for the logo display. Associate sponsor Giri Trading, Platinum 777 Carnation World, Orient Star Group, Innova. Diamond sponsors Finiquest. Gold sponsors LJ, Aro, Mira Medi Aids. A&D Associates Project Management Consultants, CUB. Silver sponsors Akshay, Green Galaxy Building Expert, Energy Tech, Capfarm India, Lush Green Resorts, Namaste International, QT, and Amwell Automation. We would also like to thank the bronze sponsors. Thank you very much.
Of course, we need to thank our sponsors, and without whom this function was not possible. Now we